Hey Rebels, tried to do this video live, but it wouldn't stay connected for some reason in the group. So I'm just gonna make this video. So listen, I'm gonna make this video to try my best to help the very few people or the large number of people that want to stand on their own 2 feet about their mitigation and restoration services. And this is around the ever-growing, nonstop game of carriers trying to contact and negotiate with you and not pay their customers' bill in full. Just finished a phone call with a very good restorer, many years in the business in another market. I'm not going to mention what market. I'm not going to mention her name, her company, but it's just a familiar story. And I just want to. I don't know that you're going to change your habits, and I think we're still going to come here and see posts about the same thing. Someone's not paying our customer, our mutual customer, in full. What do I have to win? Why do I say all this? Listen, we have a service. I teach classes. We do things. I help people overcome this every single day. But you're not required to attend. I come here and try to help this industry keep and make the hard-earned money that they deserve. That's it. That's my incentive. So here's the situation. It's not overly complicated. Restoration contractor gets called to a water damage. It turns into mold. It's been sitting for 5 days. Got involved, pretty involved. The customer, for some reason, hired a PA. That's a whole different subject. Well, they involved in this story, but she, does a assessment, has a hygienist come in. They put together, it's $21,000. It's quite a bit of work, and does the work. She told me a work authorization, but she said that there's an agreed upon amount on there, a scope of work that a customer agreed to, and a personal guarantee that she got signed. Familiar story, turns in the invoice to the homeowner and the PA because the PA is involved. And then the game starts. Sedgwick gets involved, and Progressive is the carrier, and Sedgwick gets involved and comes back and offers $11,000, and then starts the barrage of contacting the contractor. And the contractor continues to say, in this case, we have a PA involved, or the customer hired a PA. You're supposed to talk to them. The PA is even coming back to the contractor saying, you need to justify your bill. And she says, I've given all the IICRC citations and quotes and the OSHA standards and everything why I did what I did is backed up. I do this every single day. There's nothing odd about this. Well, this she got a PA that's for some reason feeling like it's her place, the contractor, to negotiate. Well, she has phone calls with Sedgwick and Progressive and says, I can't and don't negotiate. My bill's $18,000 or $21,000, and the insurance is, the lies start. I've never had anyone not negotiate with me. We have whole departments. She got this recorded, by the way. I have the recording. We have whole departments at Progressive for negotiating contractors to get the claim payout down. So she admits it. But she says, well, I can't, I don't. It's not legal in South Carolina. And South Carolina, it's the state. And I'm not going to do it. So it's $21,000. You need to work it out with the PA and the homeowner. Well, they come back and they go from 11,000 to 18, and they contact the PA and say, we're willing to go to 18 if you'll settle now. Well, the PA doesn't have a dollar in this thing, very little time, no money, and is looking at 10% and says, shoot, I'll take 10% of that just to cut this thing. Well, contractor is like, no, that's, you can accept what you want to, but my invoice is still going to be 21. So your customer's going to find out where to come up with $3,000. And they go round and round and round. And that's where they are. She really just called me and said, Clark, am I crazy for standing my ground? I feel like everyone settles for 18. They give away 3,000, which is all profit, by the way. All your profit goes away. And that keeps you dependent on the next job. This is a terrible way to run a business. I don't even care what industry you're in. You have to know what you're worth. Also, when you negotiate, You tell your market and your customers and everyone else that your first number was too much. So if you're new in this industry, if you're just getting started, or you've been doing this a while, you're going to feel absolutely compelled to participate in these games, but you don't have to. Do what you want to. It's your business. I don't have any skin in the game. I just watch the endless barrage of people here coming saying, I did good work. I've got a customer and an insurance company that just don't want to pay in full. You have the problem that millions of businesses have. People just don't see the value and they want to negotiate down. You just have to decide. And if you want to do it, that's fine. People will say, I make plenty of money. But I would say you're telling the insurance company and customers that we overcharge just so we can negotiate down and take less. And I don't think that's good for the value of what we do. So I hope this video helps someone. One person might say, I'm sick of it too. I'm not going to do it anymore. There was a whole bunch of stuff. She tested for asbestos. I just said we're not paying for that. It's not needed. And 3-day drying. It wasn't even a drying job. It was wet, but it was a mold job. So just all the regular shenanigans. And here's what I'll end this on. You are not required or obligated, unless you told your customer you would, to participate in negotiations. Again, it's illegal, UPPA, unlawful practice for public adjusting, to do that. But just put this into frame. Remember that if you choose to play these games with carriers, TPAs, or some kind of claim specialist, they are not experienced professionals like you. You're being questioned by amateurs. Writing exacerbates all day and negotiating when contractors lower their bill does not make them an expert. You were there, you assessed the job, you diagnosed what needed to happen, and you built a scope of work based on the needs of the job, and you executed as you were supposed to, as your customer would have expected you to. These negotiations weeks later are nothing more than just attempts. So stop today. Are you going to lose some jobs? Maybe. Now, let me go to the very beginning of the story. This customer was already trying to do a few things that was probably fraudulent. Call this damage, but it really wasn't. And I said, well, you know what's going to happen? They're going to get their 18,000 or the 21, and they're still going to try to negotiate down. They're looking for ways. Oh, the customer's homeowner, the wife, she's been dealing with the husband. The wife has contacted, oh, can you please help us out here? Can you please negotiate and get this thing settled? And she said, I'm just trying to do that. I'm actually just trying to help you get the full amount so that you don't have to pay me $2,000 or $3,000. So if you want me to settle, I'm not settling until I get my whole thing. But if you would like to take 18 and pay 3 out of your own pocket, that's fine. It makes no difference to me. It's the same money. So, but don't negotiate with people who aren't even close to being on a level. They're using your pictures, your notes, your job file to negotiate with you against yourself. Stop it. Stop. Take care.